Welcome to Chat Communications Happenings and Trends. So last week, Donald Trump fired yet another person from his administration, David Shulkin, who was unanimously confirmed by the Senate last year as the Veterans Affairs Secretary. And he is thinking of actually replacing him with U.S. Navy medic and physician to the president, Rear Admiral Ronnie Jackson. This is the same Ronnie Jackson who basically said that Donald Trump was in fantastic, phenomenal shape. So Shulkin had been getting praise from veterans groups for actually expanding mental health services, making the appeal process for veterans applying for disability easier, and also making the VA hospitals and clinics post waiting times and actually more information on the treatments that they have available. So even Trump during Shulkin's signing ceremony joked that he would actually never fire Shulkin. So actually what happened? Well, in Shulkin's words, he stated that I was not against reforming the Veterans Administration, but I was against privatization. And I think it was really the political appointees that were trying to undermine our efforts at the VA. So, but the White House actually seems to deny this claim the claim that Shulkin is stating that they wanted to actually move towards privatization. In a statement given by Principal Deputy White House Press Secretary Raj Shah, he said that President Trump is committed to ensuring our nation's veterans receive the care they rightfully deserve. This administration has taken several unprecedented steps to transform and modernize the VA, and there are no discussions about privatizing it. We look forward to continuing our work with Congress to reform and strengthen the VA choice program to provide our veterans with more choice in their health care. And as Trump himself framed it, he frames it as trying to give vets more options. He said last Thursday in a speech he gave in Ohio, as to why he's in fucking Ohio giving goddamn speeches instead of doing his damn job. We made changes because we want them taken care of. We want them to have choice so that they can run to a private doctor and take care of it. And it's going to get done. It's going to get done. We'll always protect the people and that have protected us. We have to. So Senator Sanders, who sits on the Senate Veterans Affairs Committee, stated that he would actively oppose any nominee for the Veterans Affairs Secretary position that is a proponent of privatization. He went on to state his concerns of the donors that are seeking to privatize more of the government. So Senator Sanders stated, so what you're looking at under the leadership of the Koch brothers is a massive effort to privatize agencies of the United States government and give them over to private corporations. That is what the removal of Shulkin is all about. So basically what the White House is saying is that Shulkin resigned over the misuse of government funds. And to some extent, the White House is backpedaling on the resignation piece, saying that he actually didn't resign but was fired from the position. That's weird to me because people submit resignation letters, right?
Yeah.
I mean, so when you resign from a position, you pretty much have to have it in writing. You don't. I know that, like in Tennessee, you don't have to have it in writing if you get fired, and you don't need the reason to be there. You could just be fired verbally and you have to leave. But you can't. But with resignations, you still have to put that shit in writing. So, I mean, if he has a resignation letter, he clearly proved that he did not resign. That he didn't get fired, but resigned. So Janet, you were just telling me about some weird things about him, as far as he was kind of, what's the word, where he was isolating himself from other employees or from
he was his own administration because they weren't on level with him. There was questions about him having an armed guard and having them outside his office, not letting people in. And
Weird.
but I mean, everyone, he was in the line of secession, so they, like, everyone that's in the line does have armed guards. I mean, that's just something that they give them. But I mean, what were these people physically not allowing people in? And his answer to that was like, well, they weren't seeing eye to eye with me. And then I saw,
Well, were
like,
they seeing eye to eye to him with him because of the privatization efforts? Are these people that were seasoned veterans of the Veterans Administration, or were they there from like Trump's administration?
they were more non-Trump people, I
Okay,
guess.
so
And
they were.
so it was when Shulkin was kind of like siding with Trump on stuff. So then these questions were coming out, like, okay, you were shutting people out, but you were, still siding with Trump on stuff, but shutting us out because we didn't agree with you. Is basically what was happening.
Weird.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have a response for that, but I mean, yeah, this is, I mean, I don't want to see the VA privatized at all. I don't. I mean, you can just look at health outcomes and affordability from a private versus a public uh, hospital. You see that it's a lot cheaper to get services at the
Mm-hmm.
public hospital than the private one. The private one, as far as I know, is allowed to turn people away
Yep.
from receiving care,
Mm-hmm.
whereas public institutions are not allowed to do so. So if you privatize the VA, what happens if they still have that ability to turn away patients? And this is a huge um, service. There's a lot of people that utilize the VA because we have a lot of military veterans, especially with all the wars that we've instigated or we've been a part of. So we've got thousands upon thousands of people that rely on this service. And if you privatize it, you make it the ability for thousands of people to be turned away without cause, without anything, because they will not receive a profit from these people. If they have like PTSD or something like that, they could easily say, we don't offer that service, so get the fuck out of here.
Well,
So then where do these people go to get affordable treatment?
I read the transcript. I didn't watch the video, but I read the transcript of the Democracy Now on this. And the guest that Amy Goodman had on it was telling a story of in Boston, that, a man going to Mass General and basically being told, he's never going to walk again, and then them just sending him home. And he went to the VA, and now, a few years later, he's walking again. And this is the whole other thing, is that the VAs, they specialize in stuff, like they understand, they have the doctors that understand PTSD, understand what Agent Orange did. You're gonna, I mean, I'm a person with a rare disease. I It took me forever to find anybody in Boston. I mean, I live right
Specialist.
outside Boston. I couldn't find anyone that understood my disease. I mean, the
Mhm.
one doctor that really is doing anything lives across the country.
Mhm.
So I mean, you get into the same thing, that you have the doctors at these VAs that actually do understand what is going on with these people. Plus, a lot of veterans are like, well, I just make all my appointments one day, and I go and take an entire day and just go there and get them all done. And I don't want to have to go from this doctor to this doctor to this doctor, and I do get, I'm in Massachusetts, so smaller state, bigger population. We probably have an easier time to get people to the VAs here. You know what I mean? And you
Mhm.
get into a more rural area, and they might have to travel 2 hours to get to a hospital, which is a shame in itself, anyways. But I mean, I do get that there are still issues, but it is the only VA is like the truly single payer system that we have in this country, and you know that's why it's like continually attacked. I think because you can't have this working right and have everybody else want to go on single payer. Oh my god, that would be horrible.
Right. Well, I mean, you always hear about all of these horror stories about the VA, right? But you never hear about like how it's effective, how it's good, how actually uh, former military veterans like it, like this service, and rely upon it. They prefer it over their private doctors that they have, and for good reason because it's a lot more affordable to them. It's is truly the only single payer system, and you do see that it works effectively. And so when you have that to compare it with our private system, and you see how atrocious it is, they want to demonize it and say like, well, but if we privatize it, it will work. It's like, but it's working now, you numbskulls. Like,
Mm-hmm.
seriously. Like, yeah, it could probably, improve upon waiting times, of course, and hire more doctors, make more of them so that people have more access. If you want to talk about fucking choice, then you make more VAs and hire more doctors. That way, and in more areas. That way, people do have the choice to say, you know what, I like that doctor better at this VA hospital, so I'm going to go over there as opposed to staying over there. That's how you do the choice thing. You don't make it to where people are priced out because that is not a choice. That is a system in which you have no choice. You are forced to take the cheapest option or not go at all. And how is that choice? I didn't choose not to have health care because they wouldn't insure me for my condition. That's not a fucking choice. I couldn't afford it. Ugh. God, this country. I am mad today. This fucking country. God damn it. It's like the worst industrialized nation on the planet. And everybody's like, we're number one. We're so good. Look at how awesome we are. And like in fucking what? In imprisoning citizens? In healthcare costs? Those are not good things. You do realize that, right? So what exactly are you fucking bragging about? So shut your goddamn mouth. Anyways, we should move on because this is making
All
me
right,
mad.
all right, we're done.
And so if you liked what you saw, make sure to hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Also, please consider making a small donation to our Patreon so that we can continue bringing you content just like this. Thank you.
Perfect.